Miles, thank you so much for joining me for a few minutes. I appreciate your time. First of all, congratulations on Trust and congratulations on being your debut feature for Koulest Productions. Just first of all, how do you feel now that we're ready to roll?
Mixed emotions. I think I'm super excited that I've been working on I first read the script in like 2020, so it's a long time coming. I treated this one kind of like my baby. But I'm also excited and motivated to go make the next one as well. So it's I'm trying to not sit on it too much, but a little nervous and excited to keep going.
So we know that you've worked with your father over with Twisted Pictures, which is insane because of all the
Hmm.
cool crazy films that they've done through there. How was this now different to your company? What were some of the differences that came up fairly quickly?
I mean, look, I don't know if I could tell you the differences because I've never worked with him on anything before. I was just his son watching.
Mm.
But I think that, me choosing this as kind of the first one that we wanted to do together, it just brings a different lens into the company of, it's a thriller. It's not like a stereotypical horror. It's a thriller. It tells a really powerful message. It's very female empowerment driven, and it's cool. It's edge of your seat, and it's got some humor in there too, which I don't think he's ever incorporated in Saw. Um, I think it just tells a different story, but I'm excited because it kind of shows a little bit more depth that his company can do, and then we'll bounce right back with a horror probably after this.
Oh, that'd be a lot of fun. So tell me, you talked about, being having themes of female empowerment. You do have a female-led creative team also. Tell me a little bit about the process of finding people like your director, and so forth.
Yeah, it's an interesting story. So I was a professional hockey player. I retired and I got back to LA, started my production company. I optioned some material and I was kind of sitting on it and I was realizing stuff doesn't happen overnight. So I took an internship at a management company, Luber Rockland. I was there just kind of learning about how to do script coverage. Just doing everyday things with managers there and just kind of seeing the ins and outs of the business. I didn't want to lead with this, but after a little bit, I started telling them, that I have a production company. I'm producing some stuff. I had optioned a book and a comic book and two other scripts at that time. Um, and Lena Rockland, who is the boss and the owner of that company, she kind of brought me in her office and she was like, I got someone great for you. I hadn't really responded well to the directors I'd met with previously, and I met with Carlson through Lena, and especially Carlson being a child actress too. Like she couldn't have seen the vision any better, and I was like, she's the person for me. So started with Carlson, which led to, a little bit of tweaks to the script, a couple other things, and eventually got the perfect girl in Sophie for this role. And then from there, we're moving fast.
She did great. Now we're going to talk a little bit about her in a minute, but you said something. You took a management class, which I think is very underappreciated for a lot of people in a lot of different roles because sure, you might be capable and you might have the attributes to run your own company, to lead a group of people, but how important was it to really sit down and focus on the skills to manage people, because
Yeah.
you're gonna probably do great, but there's some little things here that you're probably gonna need to fine tune.
Yeah, and it's that, and it's also just like not having an ego. Like I can't be new to something and act like I know it all. It's better to learn from people around me and kind of see every level of it. Like I'm seeing junior managers, I'm seeing big managers, and then I'm seeing the partners of the company, and I'm just kind of seeing the way things happen. It's like as much as I can learn from my dad, obviously, and my mom, who's a massive talent agent, as much as I can learn from them, they've already done it. Like they're at the top, they've already done it. So it's like, well, how much can you learn from someone that they're like, yeah, it's easy. So I was really just in the everyday grind and really learning about how to just make things happen in Hollywood. And it really helped me a lot moving forward, learning those tools.
Now back to your star. Trust is it's funny
Mhm.
because you have to trust your lead very, very much because of the fact
Yeah.
that a lot of the times she's by herself in the film. There's not a ton of interaction because of her situation in the film. How much trust did you have in Sophie Turner, and tell me how great was she in your point of view after seeing the film completed?
I can't even imagine anyone else in that role. I think it was a perfect combination of, she's a mother and this girl's pregnant. This girl's a child actress, which Sophie was. She's, I'm not going to put words in Sophie's mouth, but, I'm sure over the course of Sophie's career, I don't think she's maybe always been treated fairly, and that's something that's obviously happening to our girl here. Um, and at the time, like it's a vulnerable time in Sophie's life. She was going through a divorce, and I think there's a lot of emotions there that she was excited to just let out onto the screen for us. And she was so prepared and like such a just a joy to work with. She was unbelievable.
It does. There are a couple of moments where it does feel like she's really just letting it all out.
Oh, no.
Um, very, very grounded story though. Very, very well done. I enjoyed it, and I hope other people do
Thank
too.
you.
Now coming from playing hockey to now, your own production company, what are some of the things that you've taken from your previous career in sports and been able to apply here to your new role?
You know what? Like, I hate to be the cliche guy, but in this case, there are cliches. It's just you can go one of two ways after being an athlete. You can kind of either like sit on it and be lazy or kind of keep doing the things that you're so used to doing. So I just tried to implement that everyday kind of like hard work structure to my life that I had as an athlete, carry over into being a producer. And then at the same time, I think one really important thing, especially while making this first movie, is not a lot of people, unless you've done it, know what it's like to be, on a team and work with your teammates. And I feel like that has a lot to do with making a movie, whether you're like the producer or you're the third AD or you're even in the kitchen, on set. It's like everyone has an intricate part into making the movie, and just learning how to interact with other people and be a good teammate, I think was something that helped me a lot.
The cliches for a reason, because they
It
work
is.
for a lot
It
of
is. No,
people.
I know it's unfortunate, but it is.
Yeah, and tell me a little bit some of your growing pains because I know that this is the first movie and there may be some things that maybe some hiccups that you didn't expect. What are some of the big ones?
I'll tell you growing pains, and it doesn't end. It's happening to me today as we speak with Mark. Is that you think you search for some of that instant gratification that you do as an athlete, where if you work hard, you play well, you did well, where in this you're doing the right things, you just have to be patient. You have to wait on other people, and it's hard sometimes. You just want to get things done, but I think it's really hard to be patient and kind of let things happen when you just want to make them happen. So I think that's the biggest growing pain for me, and it's still happening to me. So it's just this constant learning curve, but patience is definitely things take longer. I first read this in 2020 and it's coming out in 2025. So things
Yeah,
take.
that's the kind of patience that I respect from you guys filmmakers because
Mhm.
as many people as I talk to, it's like, yeah, we started this project back in 2005 and it's like, what? It's like
Yeah, no,
what
that's crazy. I can't do that again. But yeah, no, these next ones I got to turn out a bit quicker than that. But
Yeah, that's great. Actually, that leads me to my final question. Tell me your plans for Koulest Productions going forward. Give me one very ambitious goal, and what can we expect from you guys?
I would say plans before I get the ambitious goal would just be to take it day by day, project by project. But we definitely have some really good stuff on the horizon we're going to be making. The next one's going to be a real horror, which is going to be fun to do. Um, it's interesting because with Trust, I kind of had it from its inception, but with, the next projects, because we have this responsibility to deliver these projects to Paramount through Republic, you kind of got to get them not from the start, which is hard because it's with Trust, it's really fun to kind of go through the script and go through everything and make it how you want it. But so up next and after and after and after, I think just the goal is just to make a great project every time and tell an important message and a great story. And ambitious, I think one day I would love to make something that's good enough to become a franchise and kind of get some sequels going. I think that'd be great. Obviously, it's, my dad did Saw, but it doesn't have to be horror. It doesn't have to be anything. Just keep kind of building and learning and eventually make a franchise would be huge.
Ah, yeah, we look forward to that. The thing of horror, you get the right killer. It's an
I
easy
know.
way to
I know.
get a franchise. So yeah,
Yeah.
just can you tease at least what genre of horror you guys are looking into for your next film? Oh, you guys are
The
doing?
next, yeah, the next one, well, it's hard to say the next because you know how it is. Maybe someone jumps on board on something that I didn't expect to go next, and we're like, "Holy shit, let's do
Uh-huh.
that!" But sorry, but I, but the next one I'm pretty sure is going to be a supernatural possession movie.
Ooh, cool. Okay. Yeah, I've seen a few of those that take place in one room, the entire film. They work so well. Possession is
Is a
crazy. Another one of those films where you find the right actor, actress, you're gonna be fine. But with all your projects, something that I've learned working in the news and in digital is if you are passionate about it and you care about it, there's going to be a lot more people who also feel the same way. You also are part of your target audience, so we look forward to seeing your projects. Thank you so much
Thanks,
for
Manny.
spending a few minutes with me.
Great talking to you.
Awesome. It was nice to
All
meet
right,
you,
take
and we'll talk to you on the next one.